Liza Minnelli is finally telling her side of one of the most talked about moments in modern Oscars history, and her version of events completely changes how that night looks in hindsight. The legendary performer now says she was ordered by the Academy to appear in a wheelchair at the Oscars, a decision she insists was not her choice, not medically necessary, and not something she agreed to. According to Minnelli, what the world saw as a tender, supportive moment was actually something she experienced as humiliating, disempowering, and deeply painful. The moment in question happened at the 94th Academy Awards in March 2022, an already chaotic night that will forever be remembered for the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident. Just minutes after that shocking slap stunned the audience and viewers at home, the show attempted to regain its composure by bringing out two icons to present the most important award of the night, Best Picture. Liza Minnelli, Hollywood royalty and an Oscar winner herself, appeared on stage alongside Lady Gaga. The audience erupted in applause. For many viewers, it felt like a symbolic passing of the torch, a moment of warmth after tension. But behind the scenes, Minnelli says the reality was very different. In her new memoir, Liza Minnelli reveals that she had originally agreed to present the award while seated in a director's chair. That was the plan she was comfortable with. She says she was fully capable of doing that, had done rehearsals with that understanding, and felt confident she could read the teleprompter and deliver the lines smoothly. But shortly before going on stage, she claimed she was told she would not be allowed to use the chair. Instead, she says she was informed that she had to use a wheelchair or she would not be permitted to appear at all. Minnelli describes the moment as shocking and confusing. She says she wasn't asked politely, she wasn't consulted, and she wasn't given a real explanation. She writes that the justification given to her revolved around safety and optics, explanations she completely rejects. From her perspective, this was not about her health, but about how the Academy wanted to present her to the public. She felt that a decision had been made for her based on her age and public perception, rather than her actual ability. What made the situation worse, according to Minnelli, was how last-minute the change was. She says there was no meaningful discussion, no chance to advocate for herself, and no time to adjust. When she was wheeled onto the stage, she immediately realized the practical consequences of that decision. Sitting much lower than planned, she struggled to see the teleprompter. The words were harder to read. The flow she had prepared for was disrupted. In a moment meant to honor cinema's biggest achievements of the year, she felt exposed and uncomfortable. For viewers at home, the focus quickly shifted away from the award itself and onto the interaction between Minnelli and Lady Gaga. Gaga leaned close, spoke softly to her, and at one point said, "I got you." That phrase instantly went viral. Social media exploded with praise for Gaga, calling her kind, compassionate, and protective. The clip was shared millions of times, often framed as a beautiful example of respect between generations of performers. But Minnelli's memoir complicates that narrative. She says that while Gaga may have believed she was being helpful in the moment, the larger situation was something Minnelli never wanted to be part of. Even more controversially, Minnelli claims that Gaga herself insisted she would not go on stage unless Minnelli was in a wheelchair. According to Minnelli, this added pressure made it impossible for her to refuse. Faced with the choice of complying or being pulled from the show entirely, she felt she had no real agency. Minnelli does not deny that Gaga behaved kindly once they were on stage. She acknowledges that Gaga was supportive during the presentation and later checked on her backstage. After the show, reportedly, Gaga came to Minnelli's dressing room to see if she was okay. Minnelli says she responded graciously and even told Gaga she was a fan. But she makes it clear that kindness after the fact does not erase how powerless she felt in the lead-up to the moment. What hurt Minnelli the most, she explains, was the sense that her dignity had been taken away without her consent. She is a performer who has spent her entire life commanding stages around the world. She has faced health challenges, personal struggles, addiction, loss, and public scrutiny. Yet she has always been fiercely protective of her independence. Being told how she must appear and being physically positioned in a way that made her feel diminished struck a deep emotional nerve. The backlash and discussion following her revelations have reignited conversations about ageism in Hollywood. Many fans and commentators are asking why a woman with Minnelli's experience and legacy was not trusted to make decisions about her own body. Others are questioning whether award shows prioritize optics over respect, especially when it comes to aging performers. The incident has become a case study in how easily good intentions can turn into something harmful when autonomy is removed. Minnelli's story also highlights the intense pressure surrounding live television events like the Oscars. Everything is timed down to the second. Producers are focused on avoiding risk, preventing mishaps, and controlling the narrative. But Minnelli argues that in this case, that control came at the expense of her humanity. She believes that instead of asking her what she needed, decisions were imposed on her based on assumptions. In her memoir, Minnelli reflects on how her parents shaped her response to moments like this. As the daughter of Judy Garland and Vincent Minnelli, she grew up learning how to survive in an industry that can be both glamorous and brutal. She writes that she was taught to keep going, to smile, to deliver the performance no matter what is happening behind the curtain. That training, she says, is the reason she didn't protest publicly at the time. She did what she was taught to do. She got through it. But years later, with perspective and distance, she decided it was time to tell the truth. She describes her book as a final statement, a coda to her life and career. At this stage, she says she has nothing left to prove and nothing left to protect. What she does want, however, is to reclaim her narrative. She wants people to understand that what looks like kindness on camera can sometimes mask a deeper problem behind the scenes. Public reaction to Minnelli's claims has been intense and divided. Some fans have expressed heartbreak, saying they now see that Oscars moment in a completely different light. Others have defended Gaga, arguing that she may have believed she was acting in Minnelli's best interests or following instructions from producers. The Academy itself has faced renewed criticism for how it treats legacy performers, though no official apology has changed Minnelli's feelings about the night. For Minnelli, the incident is more than a wheelchair or a single award presentation. It's about respect, choice, and being heard. She emphasizes that disability aids like wheelchairs are not shameful, and she does not criticize anyone who needs or uses one. Her issue is with being forced into a role she did not choose, especially when that role affected her ability to perform. She also points out that the viral praise directed to others left her feeling invisible in her own moment. Instead of being celebrated for her presence, her resilience, and her contribution to cinema, the conversation centered around how she was being managed. That, she says, is not how she wanted her Oscars appearance to be remembered. Looking back, Minnelli says she still believes in finding light even in painful experiences. She speaks about rainbows, about survival, about the strange beauty of endurance, but she makes it clear that telling the truth matters, even when it complicates a feel-good story. In her words, honesty is part of dignity too. As Hollywood continues to grapple with questions of inclusion, representation, and respect for artists of all ages, Minnelli's account stands as a powerful reminder that legends are not props, and compassion must include listening. Her story challenges audiences to look beyond viral clips and ask what might be happening off-camera, especially when the person at the center has spent a lifetime giving everything to the stage. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.